So having opened up a page in Silhouette Studio Canvas, I choose my photos and bring them in and size them. You can always size them again later on during this process, which is the great thing. Then open up the folder that I'm working from, so poolside, and have a flip through the pattern papers, choose what I want, bring it in, and then layer the photos on top. I've got the business edition of Silhouette Studio, so I have got the layers panel, which does make this a bit easier. I'll then grab a shape, so I've grabbed a rectangle, put it over the pattern paper I want, and do a crop so that I can get the sections of paper I want. So I'm not going to have to print out lots of 12 by 12 sheets of paper. I can just print out the bits of paper that I need. So I've done that with the green piece, I've done that with the pink piece, and here I'm doing it with one of the solids here. So rectangle over the top, crop, and there we go. And then I can move it about and layer it and put it in place. Then going and choosing the letters that I want to create my title, bring them all in onto a clean canvas so I can work more easily. So I want the word chili with an exclamation mark, although I don't use the exclamation mark in the end. Line them all up, move them close to each other so that I can then do an offset around them so I can cut them out as one piece. So got them all there, and just take them over onto the page, size them to what I want, and then come back in, make it larger, take that exclamation mark away, do the offset, and then I make the original letters. I take them and give them no outline, and then I've just got the red outline around the word chili, and group them, and then I've got want it to say chili, 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 so duplicate them and then take them over onto my layout and put them where I want. And then it's a case of going into the embellishments, and I open up each of the embellishment sheets and size them to what I'd do if I was using them as print and cut. And then I will unlock compound path. It does mean if you've got something with a hole in, that comes unlocked as well, so you just have to regroup them. And then bring the bits in that I want. So here I am bringing in some of the flowers and moving them about. Again, I can use the layers panel to pop them behind. It doesn't matter really at this point because this isn't what I'm going to be sharing with people. So if something's not in exactly the right place on the layers, on this it doesn't matter, because when I create and print them out I can pop things underneath different paper layers. But it gives me a rough idea of where I want to put everything, so I can bring in different word strips and things. If I want to at this point, I can make icons bigger or smaller before I cut them out. So here I am just bringing in a label and sticking that underneath. I thought I was going to do my journaling on that. You'll see when I finish the layout. In fact, I've moved it up when I actually stick it down and don't use that. There I just made that icon flower cluster just a bit smaller to pop in there. Move those little water splashes behind the flowers, but I decide I don't want them there. And when creating it here on the screen, it's so easy to move things around, nothing's actually stuck. These glasses, you'll see in a minute, I actually flip them horizontally because they were facing the wrong way. Now if I'd printed them as they were, I'd have had to have been stuck with that, but as it is, you'll see in a minute, I flip them so that they're pointing the right way, which works so much better for me. Bringing these flip-flops, but I decided I don't actually want those up there. I do like the blue ones down here. Here we go with the glasses. I flip them horizontally and now they're facing the right way, and I move that water droplets up to the top left cluster there. Try them about a bit, but no, try those flip-flops and they don't cut it. Having done that, I save the whole piece on my desktop so that I've got something to refer back to when I come to create. Then I duplicate it and take off all the papers and put them into their own files so that I can print off just these bits. So I've got that onto an A4 page, and this one I'll print off onto my A3 printer. So I'm saving as much paper as possible and save those ready to print at a later time. And then I'll do the same with my stickers. So I want an A4, first of all my photos, pop them on an A4 sheet, and then the stickers I will put onto an A4 sheet with the print and cut marks in place. Now I have got business edition here, so I could have clicked one of the buttons to do that, but you can do this all manually as well and fiddle things around to make sure that they all fit on the page. You'll see here I use the design page and move it on. I'm just showing you here, you do have to check that it doesn't hide things behind, because otherwise you get a label with something cut out the middle of it, which is a pain. So with all that done, we're ready to do print and cut and put the layout together, and this is what it looks like when it is all finished. So here it is all finished. All the different layers. I've roughed the edges up of the paper to give a little bit of extra texture, popped bits up onto foam pads to give dimension, and printed the word chili. First one is just flat, second one is 2 layers, and the third is 3 layers, and that gives you some really nice dimension there. So anyway, I hope this has helped you see how I create using Silhouette Studio, and that perhaps you might give it a go. Thanks for watching.